Welcome to Dominico Field here at Christie Pitts. Thomas West alongside Noam Streifer. This afternoon, it's the Toronto Maple Leafs in the Welland Jackfish. Toronto still looking for their first win since their opening day victory against the Kinnear Panthers. And Noam, a win against a team like the Welland Jackfish feels like it could go a long way for the Maple Leafs' confidence and maybe long-term success throughout the season.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm glad you used the word confidence there. I think a team like Welland it's always a tough outing against Welland. They're all consistently near the top of the CBL standings. And just a win after not having a lot of success since opening day. A win would do a lot to build confidence for this squad. And it's something that they really need to kind of work towards, especially with the shortened schedule this year. 48 games, but a smaller playoff pool. And that's something that's a big factor. You really can't get off to a slow start if you really want a chance at making the playoffs.
So think about last game for the Toronto Maple Leafs. I think, the big number that kind of stands out is 3 hits. They just had 2 runs on 3 hits. Maybe a lone bright spot was Matt Fabian picking up an RBI single. He was off to a bit of a slow start, so maybe that gets his bat going. But, the Maple Leafs are going to have to find a way to generate some more offense today.
Yeah, absolutely. In a game like that, only 3 hits is not what you want to see. Fabian, like you said, he had a big game. But missing Dennis DeBanning was a really big deal. He's been by far the Leafs' hottest hitter to start the season. He started off 3 games, 3 homers. And another factor, I think, is the strikeouts. They struck out 12 times in that game. And they're just going to need to have some more quality at-bats. They need to kind of get deeper into at-bats, get the pitcher out of there, foul off tough pitches. And that wasn't something we were seeing from them in that last game. And like they kind of say, good at-bats will lead to good things.
Spencer Ross has been off to a good start for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Picked up one of those 3 hits against London last time out. I caught up with him before the game. We talked a little bit about the game tonight and also him playing for the University of Toronto Varsity Blues, where he's had a ton of success over the last couple seasons. All right, joined now by Spencer Ross. Spencer, I know playing for the U of T Varsity Blues, you've had so much success there. I want to ask you a little bit about this team as well. But just, I know you're not playing down the street, but going to school down the street, winning 3 consecutive championships, what does that kind of do for you as a player?
It's awesome. There's a great winning culture over there, and it's really just kind of learning what it takes to win as a team and feeling that environment as a team and a culture. And we definitely have some of that here too, so it's really cool to bring that and share that with both squads.
I think about a guy like Jordan Mandalay who, has a lot of that winning culture, right? But just from a completely different side of baseball than yourself. And he's your double play tandem up the middle. Like, is it kind of cool playing with a guy like that, has that kind of baseball resume?
100%. Like, that's what's like the beauty of this league is that it brings like so many different experiences and backgrounds together to play, and just being able to play on the field with some of these guys with their experiences and chatting with them and learning more is it's amazing. It's I don't know where else you'd get that.
So, you're a guy who has a strong OUA background. I look at a guy on the other side of things on Welland and Justin Gideon, and, he has a strong OUA background. We've seen so many players like yourself and him and, so many other guys come from the OUA and have so much success here in this league. Like, can you just kind of tell me about, what kind of differences it is playing in this league? Because I know, you've got people from all over the world. Maybe that's a little bit different in the OUA, but what's it kind of like, as a guy like yourself coming over and playing in this league?
I mean, it's different in that the OUA season's like the fall, and this is like the length spring to the end of summer, so definitely gets drawn out. OUA is kind of real quick. You got to get after it, and I think that helps with like when you have a bunch of games in a row. Like we're playing 5-6 days a week in the OUA, so you're that, and it's great competition. College ball is a little bit different mentality. There's a lot of roughhousing or whatever going on, so that stuff's fun, and bringing it over here makes it a lot of fun too.
Hey Spencer, I know you guys have lost a couple games in a row, and you're playing a really tough team here today in the Welland Jackfish. What would a win today kind of mean just for the momentum of this ball club?
It would be great. I mean, it's a long season, or a couple games in. There's no. We're staying level-headed. That's the name of the game in baseball, and so obviously great respect to Mullen. They're a great team, but we'll be fine over there.
All right, Spencer. Thanks for this good one.
Thank you.
All right, great here from Spencer Ross there. We talked a little bit about this game against the Jackfish. One of the things that Spencer said it is a long season for the Maple Leafs, and they know they're just getting started. A little bit of success last time out for this Welland Jackfish team, coming away with a 3-0 victory. Lair fantastic on the mound. Gave up some hits, but was able to get out of trouble just about every single time that he got into any. They got some good bullpen usage. Davey Mendes, by the way, has thrown 60 pitches over his last 2 outings, which is in the last 3 days, so I'm not sure if he's in play today. But this was a typical Welland Jackfish victory over London.
Yeah, and I mean, you mentioned the hits for Layer. Even when you get 7 innings of shutout ball, the hits are there, only 4 strikeouts. That's still a quality start, and at the end of the day, that's what you're looking for. One name that I want to keep in mind, and this is someone who is consistently all over the scorecard with the Welland Jackfish, and that's Jonah Weisner. He had that RBI ground out early on, and then he kind of sealed the game with the big double later in the 7th. And he's somebody that he bats 2 in the Jackfish lineup. He's somebody that consistently is involved in the Jackfish offense. He's like one of their better hitters, and he's consistently someone that impresses me whenever I see him play. And the Jackfish before that game, they had their 2-game skid against Guelph and then Barrie, and then to kind of come away with a win and then get to come to Toronto. They're riding a lot of momentum right now.
Yeah, Jonah Weisner's been in this roster for a long time, 3 seasons for this Welland Jackfish team. Saw him get a little bit of an opportunity with the Quebec Capitals a couple of years ago, but he has been a good player in this lineup. 3rd season with Welland, an all-star last year, so definitely someone who is a key to success in this Welland Jackfish lineup. So you look at the standings here. Welland would be first right now if it wasn't for the Barrie Baycats. They've pretty much dominated every single team except Barrie, who saw them give up 11 runs to them in that 10-inning loss. And I know, that was one where it was late in the game. There was a fly ball that should have been caught that probably would have ended up winning the game for the Jackfish, but then it ended up not. We saw the 2-run home run by Cyprian in that game, by Barrie. And then that's why I thought coming out last game was such a gutsy effort to come out and get the win, because that was a bit of a heartbreaking loss against Barrie. But listen to this. They've allowed 3 runs to every single team except Barrie this season in the Canadian Baseball League. And the Maple Leafs trying to be the first one to score 2, that's not Barrie, on this Jackfish team today.
Yeah, well, if there's a team to do it, I do think it is the Leafs. They've got a really solid middle of the order there with Puig and Connect, and just they're the kind of team that can keep the line moving. I really like Pops in the 5th spot as well. And Barrie in that last game, they were just on, and there was those little mistakes that Welland is so good at usually not making. It was that dropped fly ball that I think was kind of the momentum shifter in that game. And that's the way that you're going to beat Welland is you can't make little mistakes, and when Welland, as infrequently as they do, makes a mistake, you have to capitalize on that.
So we talked a little bit about Jordan Mandalay talking with Spencer Ross as well, and I think this is kind of an interesting thing to see, right? Because you see people from everywhere come to the Canadian Baseball League. So Jordan Mandalay, he's a guy, he's Cuban, he's played in Cuba, he's played all over the world. Then you see a guy like Spencer Ross, who's having just as effective season this year. He's playing from just down the street, playing for the University of Toronto Varsity Blues. So, I just think it's such an interesting double play tandem up the middle. And maybe we saw Mandalay get off to a bit of a slow start. He is 40 years old, but, man, he's still got a lot of juice left in the tank.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love that you have 2 players up the middle from 2 completely different walks of life, and yet there's just so much chemistry up there. For those of you who have watched a lot of Leafs games this season, you just see the chemistry up the middle. It passes the eye test. And then you also can look at Mandalay's offensive stats. And throughout 17 at-bats this year, the .353 average, 3 doubles, and he's 4 for his last 7 against, and including that 3-for-4 game against Barrie on the 27th. So he's just kind of been effective on all sides of the ball this season. He's very much a leader in this clubhouse. He shores up the middle defense incredibly well, and it's kind of an incredible sight to see.
So the last 2 games, Yasiel Puig has been missing his lineup protection in Dennis DeBanning, and I don't know if that's affecting him at all or not, but I mean, with DeBanning out of the lineup again today, Puig is a guy that needs to get some offense going for the Maple Leafs.
Yeah, undoubtedly. And I mean, it's going to be a little tough, like you said, without the protection in the lineup. And I do think that's why they've chosen to put Pops in the 5 spot, because he's had a little bit of a hot start this year. But that's the thing, is that Puig is just going to need to take those good at-bats. He's going to need to wait for the mistake pitch. He is a former MLB talent. He knows he can hammer that mistake pitch, and there's going to be a lot of 3-0 counts on him today. And that's going to be the kind of thing that's a factor. And also see how Marcus Connect can do. If he can get on base in front of him, that's going to be another major factor for Puig and his success. One thing to note with Puig as well, we did see that injury sliding into second on a couple of days back again in the game against Barrie, so that's something to keep an eye on. He did look relatively healthy in the last game, but that definitely affected his last at-bats in the game on Wednesday.
So he hit 2 home runs in the first game. Like, have you noticed teams pitching him a little bit differently? Like, you know, I just get the feeling that pitchers are treating Puig a little bit differently, maybe with a little bit more attention, and it's pretty clear. I mean, Puig, he's leading the team in walks, as you saw there, but Yasiel's not here to walk. I don't think he wants to walk. So, you know, is it maybe going to be a little bit of plate discipline, make the pitchers get in the zone, or can he just swing away and hope things go well?
I mean, the way that the league has been pitching him as a whole is they're pitching around him, just generally. And the thing that I think has kind of kept Puig from replicating that first game is sort of the fact that he hasn't necessarily hammered those mistake pitches that he was seeing before. Pitchers are throwing him down a lot. They're trying to get the ground ball outs with him. And they're also, they're pitching scared to him. So that's the kind of thing is that Puig is going to need to sit back. He needs to get, he's going to be in a 3-0, a 3-1 count a lot of the time. He's going to be ahead in the count a lot of the time. And a lot of the time he will end up just having to take the walk, especially today without Debanning behind him. But, those mistake pitches, that's the part where he's going to be successful if he can figure out how to hammer the mistakes.
All right, we'll take a quick break, and national anthems coming up, starting lineups, and we will be back in just a few minutes.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north, strong and free. From far and wide, O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Good job. No worries.
Beautiful day for a ball game here at Christie Pitts. Thomas West alongside Noam Streifer. The Toronto Maple Leafs in Welland Jackfish. Welland 4-2 on the season, looking to edge closer to first place in the Canadian Baseball League. The Maple Leafs looking for their first win since opening day against the Kitchener Panthers. It's Gideon Martinez, who we've seen a lot of on the mound so far, pitching today.
Yeah, the former Kitchener Panther, Maple Leafs acquired him to start off the season. It's been a little bit of a rough go of things for him early on, the 1-1 record and a 7.71 ERA through 9 innings pitched. The thing that I'm seeing here is the hits. He's allowed a lot of hits. He's been actually fairly solid with the control, just 3 walks. But he's just kind of got to limit those mistake pitches, kind of give be in control of the at-bat, get those first pitch strikes a lot more often, and I think he'll see a lot of success. If you look at the stat sheet, he had a number of solid seasons with the Kitchener Panthers before he headed over to Toronto, so it's just going to kind of be working out the kinks for him and getting back into the swing of things early on in this season, and I think he could have a lot of success.
Looking at the lineup for the Welland Jackfish, Daiki Abe is leading things off, followed by Jonah Weisner, who's playing second base. Justin Gideon is in right field batting third. Then it's Robert Mullen cleaning things up. Brendan Luther, followed by Bryce Arnold. Ethan Mann, Logan Grant, and Gio Morello rounding out the Welland Jackfish order. Daiki Abe, as he's been in many games this season for the Jackfish, leading things off. He'll face Gideon Martinez, trying to get back on track here for the Maple Leafs. And the first pitch is in there for a strike. This one chopped to first. Out number one.
Nice play there, just to get off the mound quickly.
That's Matt Fabian, who's playing first base. He was at first base last game as well. Spencer Ross is the second baseman. Jordan Mandalay at short. And Vasily Kaludis at third base. Now it's Jonah Weisner with one away in the inning. Weisner takes up and in.
Jonah Weisner, I mean, he needs no introduction. He's the prototypical two-hitter, in my opinion. And so far this season, he's living up to that. 444 average, 556 slugging. To start off the year in 27 at-bats, he has 12 hits. And just also the eye test. He's an incredible defender up the middle. He consistently makes hard contact, a really great player.
Here's the 0-2 pitch. That one finds the outside corner for a strike. Weisner followed by Justin Gideon, who's looking to get things going. He has MVP ability in this league. Here's a high fly ball. This one's drifting towards the foul line and left, and it's going to get just out of play. 2-2 now on Weisner. Gideon Martinez works himself back into the count after going down 2-0.
Yeah, well, he's been hammering the off-speed pitches for those last two strikes, so I wonder if he'll come back with something a little bit harder.
Here's the 2-2, fouled off. Weisner just got a pitch of that, got a piece of it from Martinez.
Well, and that's what Jonah Weisner is going to do to you. He's got such good bat control that he's just going to consistently, even when you're ahead 2 strikes, he's going to make contact.
Outfield for the Maple Leafs, Marcus Connect in right, J.J. Dutton in center field, and Yasiel Puig in left. There's a swing and a miss, strike 3. Gideon Martinez gets Weisner to swing over the top of a breaking ball.
Yeah, a really effective start here for Martinez, able to get that first out incredibly efficiently and then works through a really tough hitter, especially after going down early in the count.
Now it's Justin Gideon. Back in the Canadian Baseball League as that pitch is up and away. Gideon last played for the Hamilton Cardinals, also spent some time with Welland earlier on in his career. When he was an OUA player, was playing for Burlington back in the 14-15 season.
Yeah, well, and his time with Hamilton was incredible. He posted a 1.122 OPS across 27 games back in 2022. Hasn't necessarily reached that height to start the season, but, you know, it's a small sample.
Yes, very early. And he has some power as well. Here's the 1-2 from Martinez. When he wasn't playing in the Inter-County Baseball League or the Canadian Baseball League, he was playing with the Quebec Capitals in the Frontier League. And listen to this, Noam, 56 home runs in 3 seasons, 274 games.
Wow.
Tough pitching in that league as well. The 2-2, and this one is crushed. High and deep to right field, and there's a bit of that power on display from Justin Gideon. 1-0 Jackfish.
Yeah, great swing there by Gideon. Just kind of takes the off speed that's down and in, able to kind of get that uppercut swing on that one to bring it over the wall. And like you were said, the power potential is just there.
Justin Gideon with the home run with 2 away in the first inning. Gets it over the big wall out there in right field. And the Jackfish jump out early. That was Robert Mullen, who has quite a bit of power himself. And that one hit him. Yadier Martinez frustrated, as that one might have slipped out of his hand a little bit, kind of goes over to apologize there to Robert Mullen, gives him a wave. Runner on base here with 2 away for the Jackfish.
Yeah, clearly just a little bit of a lack of focus there. No intent behind that one. Just didn't necessarily get the pitch he wanted, didn't complete it after giving up the home run.
Should mention that Gideon home run, the wind was not helping that ball out of the park. It is blowing from right field today. Big advantage for right-handed batters. Gideon a lefty, and now this one's sent pretty well to center field. Back goes Dutton, and it is gone. A big bat flip from Luther as he rounds first base. That's a 2-run home run, and the power on display here for the Jackfish in the first inning. They lead 3-0.
Well, and on the other hand, that ball was absolutely helped by the wind, pushed a little bit towards left field on that one. But Brendan Luther, what a swing there.
Yeah, Robert Mullen scores. He was hit by the pitch. All of this coming with 2 outs in the inning by the Jackfish.
Yeah, and that's what the Jackfish will do to you. Even when they're down, they just have those good at-bats. They keep the line moving. It's a great mentality from that lineup.
That's the first home run of the season for Luther. He had 3 of them last year in 42 games with the Jackfish. This is a home run friendly ballpark here at Christie Pitts. The Gideon ball would have probably been gone in every ballpark. That one, there probably are ballparks in the Canadian Baseball League that ball would not have left in. But he smoked it. That was on a line out to center field.
Yeah, it was tanked, for lack of a better term. That ball was leaving at any park, even over the Salazzo wall.
The 1-2 to Arnold. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Martinez will get out of the inning, but not before the Welland Jackfish tack on some runs with 2 outs. Home runs by Luther, and before that, Justin Gideon. And it's 3-0 Jackfish as we take a quick break.
What I look for in a Rawlings is a combination of things. Something that will kind of maintain for a long period of time. I've had a lot of success with Rawlings over the years.
What I like about my Rawlings glove is the feel. The feel is everything. It's good to get that feel in your hands, and when you have a Rawling, it's more easy to catch. Weight goes a long way, and I feel like Rawlings does a really good job of getting you top of the line leather.
As far as the leather, I usually stick to Pro Preferred.
I've actually always used Pro Preferred. I loved it from the start, so I'm kind of a guy, if I like something, I usually don't change it. So since the first day I signed with Rawlings, I've been using Pro Preferred.
What I like about my Rawlings glove is it's always felt the same. It never falls apart. It feels good every single day I put it on my hand, and it's a mark of a pro.
Well, back here at Christie Pitts, Maple Leafs getting a shot here in the bottom of the first inning after Welland put up 3 in the top half of the first. Yoilan Quinnes is getting the start today, his first as a Welland Jackfish here in the Canadian Baseball League. And he'll face Matt Fabian to lead things off.
Yeah, Quinnes, he spent some time in the Marlins system, making it up as high A ball. across 5 seasons in the minors, 4.27 ERA.
And Matt Fabian gets into the first ball he sees high and deep, and it's tracked down out there in center field by Gideon, one away.
Yeah, good swing by Fabian there. Not necessarily the outcome that you wanted, but he's able to take that ball, let it make its way into the zone, and kind of shoot it into the gap the other way. Just incredible defense out in center by Morello.
Yeah, Gio Morello, excuse me, out there in center field. Shouldn't make that mistake. He's been in center field for many years for this Welland Jackfish team. Got a ton of speed out there. Justin Gideon is the right fielder. And Daiki Abe is in left. This is J.J. Dutton getting his first at-bat back here at Christie Pitts, and he hits a ground ball. And that's going to be the second out recorded. Shortstop Brendan Luther able to throw him out. Luther is joined by Bryce Arnold, who's at third base. Jonah Weisner at second. The first baseman is Ethan Mann. Logan Grant is doing the catching today for the Jackfish. Robert Mullen gets the day off, and he's the DH. Now Quinnes will face Yasiel Puig and misses with the first pitch low.
That's something you're going to see a lot of the time this season. Puig has started off his at-bats with a first pitch ball.
Some crazy numbers from Puig this season. Batting average 188, but has an OPS this year of 975. Big part of that is because of the home runs, and the on-base percentage has been very high as well, leading the team in walks. And Puig hits one on a line, and that one gets down out there in left field. Eats up the left fielder a little bit, but Puig is going to hold his ground at first, and that's an extremely hard-hit single for Yasiel.
Yeah, I don't think Abe was ready for that one. It drops just about a foot in front of him. Normally, it's a pretty easy play to make out there, but just it was hit on a line, an exit velocity this league isn't necessarily familiar with.
We talk about the hops in the infield that can sometimes be challenging at Christie Pitts. The hops in the outfield can be difficult as well, and you're not expecting to get a ball on a line like that. Either way, we talk about it like it's an error in left field. It didn't cost Welland anything. Puig was going to first base pretty much no matter what. And now here's Marcus Connect. And Connect hits one off the top of the mound, and an easy play for Weisner at second base, and that'll end the inning. A hard hit ball, but no runs for the Maple Leafs. They trail 3-0 to Welland as we head to the second.
Everyone dreams of being great. Only a select few can be iconic. But only one is chosen. Introducing the Chosen One from Rawlings. The all-new one-piece composite iteration of the top-rated and established Icon BB Core bat.
Get ready, Chatham-Kent. For the first time ever in the new Canadian Baseball League era, the 2026 All-Star Showdown is landing at Fergie Jenkins Field on the July 11th and 12th weekend. The league's top talent, all in one place. Watch the full slate of skills competitions, including the popular Home Run Derby on Saturday, and on Sunday, the ultimate 2026 CBL All-Star Game featuring your favorite players for a mid-season showdown. Chatham-Kent, it's our time. The All-Star Weekend of the new CBL era. It's history.
Ethan Mann leading things off, facing Gideon Martinez. It looked like Martinez was going to get out of that first inning, but then some two-out damage by Welland.
Yeah, they were just having good at-bats in that inning with 2 outs. And, you know, Martinez, he got those first 2 outs. And then a couple of tough pitches later against a tough lineup, it's a 3-0 game.
And as we've mentioned, it has been tough to score runs against this Jackfish team. Maple Leafs are getting a look, though, at a new pitcher in Quinnes for the Jackfish. Here's the 1-1 to Mann, and he fouls this one off, and this one is back and off the scoreboard here at Christie Pitts.
Ethan Mann did his undergrad at New Mexico State University in the NCAA. In 2024, he hit .322 with 16 homers.
A pitch from Martinez just missed, and the count's 2-2. And takes just high. And Ethan Mann working a good at-bat here. Full count. Mann chops one foul. Off to a great start this year, hitting .400 on the young season. Another full count pitch. Chopped on the ground, foul, just foul down the line.
I'm consistently impressed by this Jackfish bottom of the order. You know, none of them are crazy power guys, but they all have just basic contact skills and are able to have consistent at-bats and kind of keep the line moving. It's a lineup that very consistently will see their number 9 hitter on for the leadoff guy.
Here's the 3-2. Line drive into the outfield and caught by Puig. It was tailing away from him towards the line. And that great defense of Yasiel Puig has been prominent all season long as he records the out.
Yeah, well, and Puig, you know, in his age 35 season, not necessarily the quickest guy anymore, but just an incredible reaction, a quick first step on that ball to get there.
Yeah, he's got really good instincts out there. We saw him almost rob a home run here in a game against Hamilton. This one's chopped foul at home plate. I think that one hit Grant as it trickled back towards the mound. This is the catcher, Logan Grant. Only had 5 at-bats this season. He's looking for his first hit of the year, and this is 4th bit of action. And he swings and misses at that pitch from Martinez, who has him out in front, 0-2. You mentioned the amount of players that could be a leadoff hitter in this lineup, Noam. I mean, Gio Morello is on deck. He kind of acts as that second leadoff hitter for the Welland Jackfish. Ton of speed, gets on base with the best of them.
Yeah, well, and Logan Grant as well. I'm just looking at his stat sheet right now. In his time in the WCBL and university, he was consistently batting above 300, sometimes above 350.
Here's the 2-2. Outside, ball 3. Well, with Morello on deck and the top of the order looming, you think that Gideon Martinez will probably go after Grant here on this full count pitch. Here it is. And it's fouled off, and it hits the scoreboard again.
Interesting they gave Grant the green light there on 3-0. Don't usually do that for the number 8 hitter, but I guess Welland just trusts their lineup that much.
Another 3-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Another punch out for Martinez, and there's 2 away. Well, if you take away maybe that one pitch to Justin Gideon with 2 outs in the first inning, Martinez has been effective so far, but first inning kind of spiraled a little bit for the Maple Leafs. Hit batter, another home run, and now this time Martinez will try and get the number 9 hitter in Morello and get through a 1-2-3 frame. And Morello bunting right back to Martinez, has it, throws to first in time for the out. Calm, cool, and collected as Martinez as he fielded that spinning ball coming back towards the mound. And it is a 1-2-3 inning for Gideon Martinez and the Maple Leafs as we head to the bottom of the second here at Christie Pitts. Welcome back to Toronto. Kyle Pops is going to lead things off here for the Maple Leafs. He's been a two-way player this season for Toronto. He's got some hits at the plate. He's been effective on the mound. 3-0 Jackfish as Quinnes delivers his first pitch to Kyle Pops.
Yeah, I remember we were joking when we talked with him a couple weeks back. Toronto finally got its Shohei Ohtani. And, you know, it's been fun to watch him. He's in both a hitter and a pitcher role. I think the Leafs are still kind of figuring out exactly how they want to use him. They've used him in relief a couple of times, but he's been pretty fun to watch.
Here's the 1-1. If there was one thing that Pops has done less over his career, it's definitely batting. Learning to hit has been a new thing for him. 1-2 here from Quinnes. And Pops fouls it off towards the Welland Jackfish dugout.
Yeah, he was talking when we spoke with him after opening day about how his wife is a pitching coach, or a hitting coach, my mistake, and that was sort of how he learned to hit, was she would teach him.
Here's the 2-2, swung on and missed strike 3. It's kind of an emergency hack there from Kyle Pops. He came up empty, and Quinnes gets the strikeout. Second strikeout of the day from the Welland Jackfish righty. Vasily Kalutis comes to the dish. He's the third baseman today for the Maple Leafs. And Quinnes misses with the first pitch.
Kalutis spent some time from 2021 to 2023 with the Appalachian State Mountaineers in Division I baseball.
And he pops this one up on the infield. And this one's going to hang up for out number 2 as Jordan Mandalay comes to the dish.
Yeah, it's a lot of quick at-bats here early on for this Maple Leafs lineup. And that was sort of what I was talking about pregame, is that they just need to get deeper into counts. And even when they're not necessarily getting the pitches that they want to hit, they just need to stay alive a little bit longer and just have a little more discipline at the plate.
Yeah, it's a sunglasses on type of day. You saw Bryce Arnold looking up into the clear blue sky here at Christie Pitts, and here's a bunt right at Arnold, but it goes foul from Jordan Mandalay. Spencer Ross is on deck if it gets to him. Mandalay, one of 3 Maple Leafs to record a hit last game against London. Here's the 0-1 pitch over the head of Mandalay as he ducks out of the way. Here's the 1-1. Mandalay, a line drive up the middle for a base hit. The hot bat of Jordan Mandalay continues to produce for the Maple Leafs as he takes a huge turn around first base.
Yeah, I know Morello was a little bit slow getting to that ball in center field, not very typical of him, and Mandalay kind of took that big turn around first, kind of daring him to try and throw him out. Interesting play here.
So Mandalay and Ross have been the 2 guys that over the last couple weeks have just kind of kept the line moving. Mandalay fakes like he's going to go, and the pitch right down the middle for a strike to Spencer Ross.
Yeah, and I kind of love that. They have the shortstop and second baseman batting back-to-back in the order. It's kind of showing the chemistry there between the 2 of them.
Here's the 0-1. That one misses high. Mandalay brings the winning mentality that he's had over his long career, whether it be in Cuba or for the Kitchener Panthers or for playing in the WBC. Well, Spencer Ross has won 3 consecutive championships with the University of Toronto Varsity Blues. And Mandalay, I don't know if he's going to go here, but mission accomplished. He's getting the attention of the pitcher Quinnes. Faked like he was going to go, then drew a throw over. And now here's the 1-1 to Ross. Once again, Mandalay dancing off the bag.
Yeah, he's been consistently getting that running lead this whole at-bat, kind of very much like you said, trying to get into the head of the pitcher.
and potentially give a mistake pitch for Spencer Ross.
Ross loves to shoot the ball the other way, so Mandalay trying to get as much of an advantage he can to try and go first to third if Ross is able to get one into the outfield, but that time swings and misses and the count's 2-2.
So far this season, Spencer Ross is batting .222 in 18 at-bats with an OPS of .444.
2-2, chopped foul, and oh boy, how did Spencer Ross get a piece of that one? That ball almost bounced before he hit it, and he's able to foul it off to the left.
Yeah, just staying alive, just showing those incredible bat control skills that we've kind of come to know with Spencer Ross.
So he's battling here against the tough righty in Quinnis. Here's the 2-2. And he lines it one hop right to second base, and that is a tailor-made putout for Jonah Weisner and the Welland Jackfish. That gets them out of the inning. Jackfish lead 3-0 over Toronto as we head to the third.
Guys, over there.
Well, back here at Christie Pitts, and a look at what Gideon Martinez has done in his long inter-county baseball league career against the Welland Jackfish, a team that is pretty difficult. He's already faced them 4 times over his career.
Yeah, I called a game that he pitched against Welland last year, and he's just a game he pitched against Guelph last year. But again, his time against Welland, he's been incredible. It's 18 strikeouts, 17 hits. Yeah, just he's the kind of guy. He's a CBL veteran.
Yeah, ERA's up there though against the Welland Jackfish. They've had his number over the last couple of seasons, but that is going to be the case for a lot of pitchers in this league.
Yeah, those numbers kind of always get inflated up against Welland, regardless of the experience that a player has. It's always a tough lineup, consistently near the top of the league.
Ground ball to Ross, takes a funny hop on him. He stays with it, throws on the run to Fabian, and that's out number 1. Sharp defense there from Spencer Ross at second base. Yeah, look at him. You could see right afterwards, he was surprised. That hop took a big right turn on him.
Yeah, well, we call those the Christie hops, but I mean, Ross has become so familiar with playing at this diamond that it kind of must have become second nature to him at this point.
Now here's the second baseman, Jonah Weisner. Gideon Martinez can ill afford to give up many more runs here to the Jackfish.
Yeah, Weisner struck out in his last at-bat.
The 1-0 pitch is in there for a strike.
Yeah, but even with Martinez having his number in the last at-bat, this is not something that you can take. This is not an at-bat you can take lightly. Weisner's always a tough hitter.
And he just misses outside. He's dancing around the corners here on Weisner, mostly on the outer half. The 2-1. Chopper up the middle, and no one's going to be able to get there for the Maple Leafs. And Jonah Weisner has a soft hit single here with 1 out in the third.
And that's tough if you're Gideon Martinez. He executed really, really well, getting the pitch down to kind of induce the ground ball. and just Weisner able to stick with it and shoot it up the middle. Unfortunately, the defense wasn't positioned very well for the Leafs there.
And now this one's hit on a line, and Marcus Connect is going to catch it around his waist. So a soft hit ball for a single. A hard hit ball by Justin Gideon. This time he didn't get it up enough, and Marcus Connect is able to make the catch.
Well, and that is baseball at the end of the day. Sometimes it's those hard hit balls that just end up being hit right at a guy, and the soft hit ones that find a hole on the infield. And Gideon, that's his second big hard hit ball of the day as well. He had that home run in the first.
Robert Mullen was hit by a pitch. The first pitch he saw from Yadiel Martinez. Now he's up with 2 outs here in the 3rd inning, and Martinez does the opposite this time and spikes the ball low and away.
Mullen spent some time in the Oakland Athletics organization, reached AA back in 2019.
Runner goes. Matt Brandt's throw down, and not in time. That's a stolen base for Jonah Weisner. That is already the 5th stolen base for Weisner this season.
Wow.
So 1-1 now. Runner in scoring position for Mullen. That pitch way outside from Martinez. Robert Mullen loves to pull the baseball, and Martinez has shown that he's trying to stay away from the power of Mullen by pitching outside in this at-bat. The 2-1, outside again. First base is open, but we've already seen some power from the Jackfish. They probably don't want to put runners on base early in the game.
Luther, who's batting behind Mullen, already has a home run.
The 3-1 pitch, swung on and missed. Mullen might have been looking for the fastball. Martinez crossed him up, and the count's full.
Mullen's got that OPS up above 900 to start the season. It's relatively consistent for his career numbers. Last time he had one over 1,000 was back in 2024 with Welland, but since then been averaging right around that 950 mark.
Robert Mullen is hunting fastballs. Martinez has just refused to give him one. And now he sifts one towards the outfield. Going to be a tough play for Fabian. He dives and makes the catch. Matt Fabian saves a run, and he gets a high five from his pitcher. A sparkling defensive play to get the Maple Leafs out of the 3rd inning. The Bats coming up for Toronto when we come back. Well, back here at Christie Pitts, we're going to get a look at J.J. Dutton this inning, one of the newest signings for the Toronto Maple Leafs. He has played for the team. We saw him a couple seasons ago play for Toronto. He's a guy that has fantastic defense in the outfield, and also a guy that they're hoping that can produce at the plate as well. So we get the first pitch here, down and in from Quinnis. So J.J. Dutton was playing for Moorhead State this season. When his season ended, he came to the Maple Leafs. That was an NCAA school, Division I. This is Matt Brandt leading things off, and he hits a ground ball. It may have tipped off the glove of Quinnis, but either way, it's a base hit for Brandt, and the leadoff hitter is on base here now for the Maple Leafs in the 3rd.
First time today the Leafs have managed to get the leadoff hitter on, and it'll turn things over to the top of the order with Matt Fabian.
Fabian crushed a ball in his last at-bat, but it was tracked down by Morello in the outfield. Took it a little bit the other way up the middle. And that was the first pitch he saw from Quinnis, so now he'll take one and get a better look at him. Here's the 0-1. That one just misses, maybe a bit up on Fabian as he bended out of the way of it.
Fabian spent time in college with the Ithaca Bombers in Division III, where he hit .301 across 3 seasons.
The 1-1. And Matt Fabian skies this one. He just missed it. It's Weisner, who's been a busy man at second base, who comes over and makes the catch. And that's out number 1.
He's been hitting the ball in the air a lot today. He got that deep fly out in the first inning, and then that one obviously a lot less dramatic, but a good approach, kind of trying to take it in the air the other way into that gap.
So J.J. Dutton was a .333 hitter in his 2026 season playing in Division I. As he hits this ball on the ground, and he's got a base hit for the Maple Leafs into the outfield. Welcome back to Christie Pitts, J.J. Dutton. 2 on here for Toronto. Dutton wasted no time going after the first pitch there from Quinnis.
Yeah, on 2 well-placed choppers here for Fabian or for Dutton and Brandt, I should say, to start off the inning. And now all of a sudden they've got a couple of runners on for what they would call their big bopper in the 3 spot, Yasiel Puig.
Yasiel Puig was struggling at the plate over the last couple games coming into this one, and then rocketed a ball to left in his last at-bat. You almost wonder if that may have locked Yasiel Puig back in at the plate. And he has got ducks on the pond here. Taken all the way, strike 1. In the game against London, Yasiel Puig was pretty frustrated with the strike zone, struck out against London. At the time, we thought Yasiel Puig got thrown out of the game, but it didn't end up being the case as Brian Sewell came into his defense.
Yeah, throughout his time with Major League Baseball, Yasiel Puig kind of had a reputation of being a guy who was very upfront and forward with umpires.
That pitch is down and in, 2-1 now. But if you've talked to Yasiel Puig, which many watching today may have, because he has went and talked to so many different fans around the ballpark. He's signing autographs every single game. He's been extremely generous with his time here in Toronto. Here's the 2-1. And Puig hits one right to second base. Weisner has it now, flips to first, and that's a double play. Oh, Jonah Weisner, it was hit right on the bag. He bobbled it for a moment, stayed with it, and that is a big 2 outs recorded for Quinnis and the Welland Jackfish, who escape danger here in the 3rd. 3-0 Welland Jackfish here as we head to the top of the 4th inning. Gideon Martinez got a nice clean 1-2-3 frame, which was very helpful for the Maple Leafs to get them back up last inning.
Yeah, it was much needed, especially after that first inning. And he's going to have a tough opponent here in Brendan Luther, who's already gone yard once today for that big 2-run shot.
That 1-2-3 inning really helped the pitch count as well. He's at 52 pitches now in the 4th. By no means extremely efficient, but certainly helpful to get a nice clean inning.
Yeah, you want to be at about 13 to 15 pitches per inning to be considered efficient, I'd say. So a little above that, but definitely helping out.
2-0 pitch is lined up the middle by Luther, and this one gets by J.J. Dutton. Luckily, it didn't go very far. I think Dutton may have got a glove on it. For a moment, that looked like inside the park home run for Luther, but Dutton able to stay with it a little bit. Either way, that'll go down as an error to allow him to reach second base. Well, 2 times on both sides we've seen outfielders have some trouble with a ball. Arbe on that hard hit ball by Puig back in the first inning, and this time J.J. Dutton not able to read the bounce, and now there's a runner in scoring position.
Yeah, and it's those Christie hops like we keep talking about. And the Jackfish, credit to Luther there for being able to get to second on that play, capitalize on the mistake. That's what the Jackfish, like I've been talking about, how they do that so consistently and so well.
Arnold on the ground, foul. Just foul at third base. Bryce Arnold was 0 for 4 last game with a couple strikeouts against London, but did have a home run a couple games ago against the Guelph Royals. Here's the 0-1 pitch from Gideon Martinez. And he hits one on the ground to third. That's a fair ball signaled by the third base umpire. That's going to score a run. It's an RBI double for Arnold. And it's 4-0.
That throw from Puig out in left field was very atypical for him. It kind of short hopped its way a couple times to the shortstop Mandalay. So he probably just didn't have a very good angle on it, throwing out from behind the bullpen.
So I was just going to ask you, you were at that game in Guelph. What did that Bryce Arnold home run look like?
It was towering. It was like it was a big home run. It was kind of fun to watch. He took that pitch on the inside part of the plate and just turned on it, hit it deep way to left field. He pimped it as well. It was really cool.
That time he got on top of the ball, but it was enough for an RBI double, and now here's the first baseman, Ethan Mann. The 0-1 pitch is hit in the air, and that one's caught by Marcus Connect. And Gideon Martinez gets an out here in the 4th.
Yeah, good bounce back pitch there from Martinez after giving up the single and then the double for scoring the run. Able to kind of take control of the at-bat there.
Logan Grant, 0 for 1 today, struck out in his last at-bat. Trying to bunt and bunts right through it. He was out of the batter's box by the time that pitch got to home plate. And now he's behind 0-1. Kalutis not really in at third base. Now this one swung on and hit on the ground. Ross has it, flips to first quickly. Runner advances to third base. That's Bryce Arnold, but there's 2 outs in the inning.
Yeah, Martinez using the off-speed very effectively today. He's getting a lot of soft contact on the ground. It's when he kind of lets it get up in the zone a little bit that Welland's been able to tee off and hit some balls pretty hard.
So the pitch count's at 60 now for Gideon Martinez. And out here in the first couple pitches for Gio Morello, and he's on track for a couple more innings for the Leafs.
I find Gio Morello to be such an interesting player to watch. There's that incredible defense out in center field, and I just find his hitting approach to be incredibly effective for the player that he is. He's a quick guy. He makes a lot of hard contact, and he's one of the quickest guys out of the box I've ever seen.
The 0-1 pitch. There for a strike, counts 1-1. Has a bit of a unique batting stance, kind of hunched over at home plate. You know who would be proud of that batting stance? Rob Butler. Kind of looks like him when his playing days, doesn't he?
Well, and you know, the batting stance actually reminds me of a former teammate of Rob Butler's in Ricky Henderson.
Chopper. Catcher Brandt throws it away at first base. Had it some time. Another run comes in to score. Gio Morello cruises into second base. That'll go down as a throwing error on Matt Brandt on that little tapper out in front of home plate. 5-0 Jackfish. It felt like maybe Matt Brandt just kind of rushed the throw a little bit. He might have had a split second more to kind of gather himself before he threw that down to first.
Yeah, I didn't necessarily get the feet set properly. He was kind of trying to throw it off balance and rush it there. And would that be scored as a single and an error or full error, you think?
Hard to say. I'm not going to make any predictions. We'll just wait to see what happens on the score sheet.
Fair enough.
It should have been an out recorded, I think, if you're scoring from the Maple Leafs side of things. Daiki Abe takes up and away. I think if you're Yadiel Martinez on the mound, he's made some good pitches this inning. A couple of mistakes, but some good pitches. And he probably deserves to be out of this inning. Here's the 1-1. And the Jackfish are a team where they've actually, over the past couple games, they've had the benefit of being gifted a couple of runs. You look back to that game against the Barrie Baycats. They're a team that's been really good to start the year, but boy, have they ever been struggling defensively. Made a ton of errors in that game against Welland. But unfortunately for the Jackfish, they would go on to lose that game in extra innings, and they had some shoddy defense a little bit of their own. Now the Maple Leafs have given a couple runs to them here in this game. And they are a team that is extremely good at taking advantage. The 2-2 pitch misses low. Good spot there from Yadiel Martinez, but now he's got to find the zone here against Abe.
Yeah, well, Abe's grounded out twice today. But again, just a tough hitter up at the plate, someone who consistently makes contact and makes quality contact at bat.
So in case you were wondering, that play, Morello reaching on an E2, not an infield hit. So it's a two-base throwing error. The full count pitch. Slash down the left field line. Puig has it. He's got a cannon. Here's the throw to the plate. On time, and he's out by a mile. Oh my goodness. Don't run on Yasiel Puig. Unloads the bazooka from left field. And that's one of the hardest throws we've seen from the outfield here at Christie Pitts. Major league stuff.
Yeah, I knew as soon as Puig got to that ball that there was going to be a play at the plate, and I thought to myself it wasn't going to be a very close one. That's vintage Yasiel Puig right there.
Gio Morello is one of the fastest players in the Canadian Baseball League, and Puig got him by 7 or 8 steps at home plate. And that is how the inning ends. So Puig, with some good defense, saves the Maple Leafs a run. They trail 5-0 against Welland. Back here at Christie Pitts, Marcus Connect leading things off for the Maple Leafs. Crazy throw from the outfield by Yasiel Puig to end that inning. We are still in awe up here in the booth as Marcus Connect takes a strike.
Yeah, on that throw, it was just slightly to the right of home plate, taking Brandt off, but just the pure power behind the throw was enough for Brandt to be able to reposition himself and get the out.
Full
Here's
count
another
pitch.
look at it.
Slash down the left field line. Puig
Not
has it.
even
He's
running
got a
towards the
cannon.
baseball,
Here's the
just
throw to
from
the
his
plate.
back foot,
On time,
able
and
to
he's
throw him
out by a
out of the plate.
mile. Unbelievable stuff there from Puig as Marcus Connect fouls this one off. That kind of looked like, that Cespedes throw when he was playing for the A's, just from his back foot, legged it from the outfield.
Yeah, actually, that's a really good comp. Out in the corner and left as well, near the foul line. I've seen that highlight so many times over my life. I can remember it.
So 1-2. You're on Marcus. And Connect hits this one in the air to left field, medium depth, drifting foul. That one finds its way out of play.
Yeah, well, and Abe had to cover a lot of ground on that one. Ball was out of play, so it was a non-issue regardless. But just the speed on that play, able to kind of range from being positioned slightly to the right.
Still 1-2 on Marcus Connect. And he takes up and away. Connect trying to get back on track. He was 0 for 4 last game with a couple of punch-outs against London.
Yeah, Connect's been with the Leafs since 2018, my mistake. And just an incredible player, OPS over 1,000 consistently.
Marcus Connect has been with the Maple Leafs for longer than the Welland Jackfish have been a team in this league.
Really?
Yeah, they were newcomers back in 2019.
Yeah, and Connect's just such a leader in the clubhouse. Just from talking to all the other players, you can kind of see how much everyone looks up to and respects him, including Yasiel Puig. For example, he talked a little bit about just kind of the leadership and that Connect shows.
That one's chopped on the ground to third, and that was going to be an extremely tough play. Third base for Bryce Arnold. He did not make it. That will go down as a single for Marcus Connect on a hard hit ground ball. So the 6'6" batter and Kyle Pops comes to the plate, and once again the Leafs have the leadoff hitter on. They did this last inning but weren't able to score. Pops takes outside ball one. Kyle Pops is followed by Vasily Kaludis, who's in the on-deck circle. And Pops hits this one straight up and out of play by about 10 feet behind home plate.
Well, when you foul it back like that, straight back, it usually means you've timed up whatever pitch you've just seen. So he's got to straighten out the swing a little bit more, not hit it straight up in the air, but he's definitely seeing it well right now.
Now the 1-1. Good patience there from Kyle Pops, and he's ahead in the count. Marcus Connect, the runner at first base. Maple Leafs looking for some runs to close the gap to the Jackfish. The 2-1 from Quinnis. Chopped on the ground. This one's to first. Mann flips to second, and they'll get the out there. It was a jumping play by the shortstop, Brendan Luther, and he did a good job just to come down on the bag.
Yeah, Mann was ranging to his left on that one there, and just kind of took the momentum with him in the throw. Got it a little high, but a nice play there. The throw had been a little more online. The Jackfish might have had a shot at 2 on that play, so the Leafs catching a bit of a break.
So still a runner at first. Now it's Kyle Pops over there. 1 out in the inning. Kaludis, 0 for 1 today.
Flew out to the third baseman in his last one. And just a lot of quick at-bats today for the Leafs.
Quinnis will check on the runner at first, but Pops dives back in. The 1-0. Kaludis pushes one in the air to the third baseman Arnold, who has about 1 foot in foul territory, and makes the catch, and now there's 2 down. And now that leadoff runner that reached base, if the Maple Leafs want to score him, it'll fall on the shoulders of Jordan Mandalay.
Yeah, Kaludis just kind of got that one off the end of the bat there, flew out to pretty much the exact same spot where he did in the first.
First pitch, Mandalay was already stepping out of the box, and it missed low from Quinnis.
I think Mandalay was shown bunt on that one. Maybe trying to catch them off guard with the third baseman playing a little bit deep.
Didn't seem like he had a lot of conviction in that bunt attempt, as this one's popped in foul territory towards first, and Mann reaches over, and he got it. Boy, there's a little bit of space behind the fence out there, and Ethan Mann disappeared behind that left field brewery tent, but we can confirm he made the catch to get his team out of the inning. Maple Leafs once again get the leadoff runner on, but cannot score, and it's the Jackfish with a 5-0 lead here at Christie Pitts.
What I look for in a Rawlings is a combination of things. Something that will kind of maintain for a long period of time. I've had a lot of success with Rawlings over the years.
What I like about my Rawlings glove is the feel. The feel is everything. It's good to get that feel in your hands, and when you have it Rowling, it's more easy to catch. Weight goes a long way, and I feel like Rawlings does a really good job of getting you top of the line leather.
As far as the leather, I usually stick to Pro Preferred.
I've actually always used Pro Preferred. I loved it from the start, so I'm kind of a guy, if I like something, I usually don't change it. So since the first day I signed with Rawlings, I've been using Pro Preferred.
What I like about my Rawlings glove is it's always felt the same. And it never falls apart. It feels good every single day I put it on my hand. And it's a mark of a pro.
Nice crowd on the hillside here at Christie Pitts. The Maple Leafs and Welland Jackfish. Jackfish off to a 4-2 start to the year, while the Maple Leafs are 1-4 in trying to get back in the win column. Tough team to do it against in the Jackfish. Welland has only lost to one team this year. Both of their losses came against the Barrie Baycats, and both of them were one-run losses. A 5-4 loss in Barrie, as this one's lined into the outfield by Jonah Weisner for a leadoff base hit for the Jackfish. That other loss in dramatic fashion, 11-10 in extra innings. And when they've been winning, listen to this, Noam, they've outscored their opponents in their wins 31-3 over the course of this season. And they're on pace to make that number even more astonishing here against the Maple Leafs.
Yeah, well, and it's the Jackfish just have an incredibly deep pitching rotation. They've got guys who consistently go 6-7 innings when you need them to, and at this point early on in the season, that's such an incredible thing to have.
Pitch to Justin Gideon just misses. Gideon homered back in the first inning. That started the train of runs that the Jackfish have put up. 5 unanswered. So the 2-0 pitches in there for a strike. 2 outs. Seemed like a harmless first inning, and then Gideon with a home run that soared over that wall out in right field.
Yeah, he just turned on it, got it on the inside part of the barrel.
This time Gideon fouls it off to the left.
Yeah, and it was not close. That ball was hammered over the wall. Would have been out, like you were saying earlier, at pretty much every CBL park.
Gideon was kind of scuffling at the plate coming into this game. 1 for his last 16. And then ended that slow streak with the majestic home run.
Yeah, well, and that 1 for 16 is not at all indicative of the talent that he's just shown over the course of his career across a number of different leagues.
Runner goes, throw down, and Weisner is in there easily at second base. Gideon strikes out on the play, and so there's 1 out in the inning, but the Jackfish get a runner in scoring position. Davey Mendez probably not in play today, threw a lot of pitches last game against London. So this pitch is up and away. Pitched the game before that 2 games ago as well, so the Jackfish would love to get to the end of this one and not be in a safe situation.
Well, they're on track for that right now.
The 1-0. This one's hit pretty well to left on a line to Puig, and he takes a couple of steps in to make the catch. That may have broken the bat of Mullen. Looked like he might have got it off and the end of the bat, and Mullen just broke his bat over his knee on the way back, which leads me to believe that that bat was already somewhat broken. Brian Essery he's going up to him right now and say, hey, it's okay, man.
Yeah, well, and Mullen is having a relatively solid season, has had a relatively solid career, so not something that I'd worry about too much.
I will say, though, he broke the bat over his knee, but it did not break cleanly. That may have hurt a little bit. He is the DH today, though, so he doesn't have to squat behind home plate. And a pickoff move by Martinez. Don't think Martinez actually threw the ball there. It was just to scare the runner back. Mandalay is also messing around with Weisner at second base. He's darting in, then going back. Martinez may have just tried to time him up. So Martinez always trying to get that extra step on the base pass, and he's trying to keep Weisner close as well. Luther takes the strike. Luther's the other guy with a home run today for the Jackfish. Hit it to dead center field.
Yeah, Luther's having a great day. Had that homer and then came around to score after he had a single and an error in the third or the fourth.
The 2-1 pitch. Swinging a foul tip at home plate, 2-2. Luther trying to extend the lead. 2 outs in the inning. And he chops one towards left, and that's foul. About 3 feet outside the foul line in left field. Jackfish have 5 runs on 7 hits. Maple Leafs have not scored with the 5 hits that they've had today.
And they've left a runner on base in every single inning so far. They're getting people they're getting people on base. They're just not getting the timely hits to score them.
Here's the 2-2. And it's in the dirt. And the Jackfish have worked Martinez into a lot of deep counts. Martinez has not been bad by any means. The Jackfish just keep chipping away.
Yeah, a couple of mistake pitches here and there for Martinez, but for the most part, it's just been, I guess, the tiredness of having to throw so many pitches.
And this one's on a line to short. Gideon Martinez makes the play and a nifty little flip over to Kalutis at third base as well. That gets the Maple Leafs out of the inning. 5-0 Welland Jackfish as we head to the bottom of the fifth. Well, welcome back to Dominico Field. Thomas West here alongside Noam Streifer. This is Spencer Ross leading things off for the Maple Leafs. And it's Quinnis back out for his fifth inning of work.
And he's been incredibly effective so far. 30 strikes to 18 balls, 48 total pitches on the day. And he's allowed 5 hits, but nothing's come around to score.
Oh, it's a bunt down the third baseline by Ross. Quinnis has thrown to first, and it's up the line. Spencer Ross placed that one perfectly, and he's going to be rewarded as he stands on second base with a leadoff, what'll probably go as an infield single and an error by the Jackfish. That was a nifty little bunt there by Ross. Nobody was expecting him to do that, and he put it in a perfect spot.
Yeah, Ross able to kind of just use his ball knowledge there, saw the third baseman was playing a little bit deep, and just incredibly well-placed bunt up the third base line and throw an error later, and now the Leafs have a runner in scoring position to start off the inning. Although I was talking about this a little bit earlier, they have not been able to bring anyone around to score yet, despite a lot of traffic.
Brandt fouls it off. Yeah, but those leadoff hitters have been on first. Now Spencer Ross is on second.
Yeah.
One step closer.
And it's a big difference to be on first and on second. Having that runner in scoring position is a big deal. And someone with Ross's speed could definitely score on a single.
Here's the 0-1, and it's Brandt squaring to bunt just like Ross did, but he takes that pitch up and in. Bryce Arnold is on him now, though. He was charging in from third base.
Yeah, but now with the third baseman playing a little bit more shallow, there's a bigger gap on the left side.
And he bunts, and he popped it up. Ross is, that one bounced off of home plate, so it is going to move the runner up. Excuse me, he bunted that ball straight down. It went so high in the air that Ross was able to scamper into third. It's a sac bunt for Brandt. So Maple Leafs try and scratch a run across here in the fifth.
Yeah, and they're able to turn things over to the top of the order with a runner on third. A couple of well-placed bunts. Some small ball here, and that's kind of what you just need to get going. Switch things up a little bit, especially on a starter who you're not seeing super well.
Well, Hennis Alvarado getting loose in the bullpen for the Maple Leafs. Martinez just over 80 pitches. Wonder if his afternoon is done.
Didn't see the handshake from the manager just yet, so we'll have to wait and see.
Here's the 0-1 pitch. That's a strike. 0-2, and Quinnis, who would love to keep this goose egg alive, is looking for a strikeout here against Matt Fabian, who has seen him well today. The 0-2, Fabian fouls it off. Fabian looks a bit more comfortable at the plate these last couple games than the start of the season, don't you think?
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm sure just settling in for a new season, all those things working out the kinks, for sure will help him out.
The 1-2. Swing and a miss. He was way out in front of that one. Fabian strikes out, and there's 2 away.
Yeah, and some timely pitching there from the Jackfish starter. Allows the leadoff runner in and is able to get 2 outs quickly, and now has a really solid chance of stranding that runner at third base to keep that goose egg alive, like you said.
Well, this is J.J. Dutton. He got a hit in his last at-bat. Puig is on deck. Dutton swings at the first pitch, and that was a well-placed breaking ball from Quinnis down and away.
Yeah, Dutton had that single last time, grounded out back in the first. Neither ball hit particularly hard, just one of them able to find some outfield grass. See if he can do something here.
1-1 now on Dutton. And he swings over the top of another breaking ball. That's been an effective pitch for Quinnis in this at-bat. So J.J. Dutton, as we mentioned, was playing for the Moorhead State Eagles in Division 1. Funny enough, their field is kind of similar to Christie Pitts. They've got a big blue wall out in right field, kind of like what Maple Leafs have here. High chopper to third. That one's into foul territory. Maple Leafs wall is just a chain link fence, but I would imagine that Dutton might be a little bit familiar with these dimensions.
Yeah, well, and that could very well be a transferable skill that he could bring over to the CBL.
I don't know how many balls Dutton's hitting the other way over the wall, but he does have some power at the plate.
Sure.
The 1-2. Strike 3 called on the outside corner, and that will get the Jackfish out of the inning. The Maple Leafs got a runner on second this time to lead it off. They bunted him to third, but Quinnis with 2 timely strikeouts to get the Jackfish out of the inning, who continue to keep the Maple Leafs scoreless here at Christie Pitts.
Welcome back to Christie Pitts. Well, Hennis Alvarado's taken over on the mound for Gideon Martinez. So far this season, a 6.23 ERA across 4 innings pitched. He'll face Bryce Arnold, who doubled and scored in his last at-bat and struck out in the first. First pitch from Alvarado's lined over the head of Spencer Ross into center field. And Arnold's on with a leadoff single.
That's going to bring the first baseman, Mann, to the plate. Johannes Alvarado, the lefty on the mound. Good matchup here for Ethan Mann. Mann hits this one in the air. It struck pretty well. Who's going to get it? It's J.J. Dutton who comes over and makes the catch.
A good bounce back pitch there for Alvarado after giving out the leadoff single. That's Mann's 3rd flyout of the day.
Well, Johannes Alvarado has seemed to continually improve on the mound since the start of the season for the Maple Leafs. Lefty v lefty here against Grant, and it's a tailor-made double play ball. Jordan Mandalay will make that play every single time. Gets the flip from Spencer Ross, and the Leafs are out of the inning. That was an efficient frame for Johannes Alvarado. Bats for the Maple Leafs got to get going. They're coming up here in the bottom half. Well, all the eyes here at Christie Pitts, thousands of them lined up along the hillside, turn their direction to home plate where Yasiel Puig is going to step in for another at-bat. Facing a new pitcher in Danny Howitt on the mound for the Jackfish. Howitt came over to the Jackfish last season after pitching for the Brantford Red Sox. And the first pitch to Puig, and he takes low.
Yeah, well, in his last season in 2025 with Welland, he was incredibly effective, a 1.82 ERA across 24.2 innings pitched, struck out 24 batters.
Here's the 1-0. Puig pops it up, and did Howitt escape danger? No, as it bounces off of the stands behind the left field foul line, right behind the Leafs dugout.
There's just a different energy at the ballpark whenever Puig comes up to the plate. The crowd kind of hushes a little bit in between pitches or on each pitch, and there's a lot more energy whenever he makes contact.
The 1-1 from Howitt. And Puig goes the other way, but he just missed it. That one's going to hang up. And a catch is made out there by Gideon and right.
Puig just got that one off the end of the bat. Mistimed it just slightly. Hasn't gotten a ton of great pitches to hit today, and he's turned on the one that he has seen for that single back in the first.
Danny Howitt started his intercounty baseball league career back in 2022. As Connect swings and misses, and he's just steadily improved over the last couple of seasons. And when the Jackfish acquired him in 2024, he just turned into a really effective reliever. He always was, but took it to the next level. Someone is in there for a strike.
Well, I think that's something that you find consistently with a lot of these CBL players. The Jackfish, they kind of remind me of the Tampa Bay Rays in the way that they're able to find those diamonds in the rough and sort of coach them into incredibly effective players.
This is just the second game that Howitt's going to pitch this season. First time out, he faced 8 batters against the Baycats, got through an inning and 2/3, allowed 1 earned run. The 0-2 to Connect, and it's in the dirt. Marcus able to lay off. Howitt was speeding things up there on Marcus Connect as he continues to work quickly. Now the 1-2. Connect takes inside. It almost hit him as it went right by that front elbow. Marcus Connect does not wear any protection on his elbows or legs. Here's the 2-2. And it's fouled off, and Connect got a pitch that he liked, and he just missed it.
Yeah, fouled it straight back on a line, timed it up just a little bit off on the plane there.
Howitt and Connect locked in a battle here at the plate. And it's Connect who pops this one up. This one's going to stay in play on the infield, and it's called by Weisner, who makes the catch on the pop-up. And that's the second out.
Again, just got slightly under that pitch there. Had sort of timed up the fastball, then got fooled by the off speed.
And here comes the former Lethbridge Bull in the WCBL, and Kyle Pops. I say that tongue-in-cheek because he's played on so many different teams in the last 10 years or so. As Pops takes up and in.
Yeah, we might need a full half inning to go over all of his teams and all of his accolades with those teams.
Brooks Bombers, Lethbridge Bulls, Antelope Valley Pioneers, Edmonton in the West Coast League. Park Gilbert Buccaneers, Neustadt Diving Ducks in Austria, Calgary Rockies, and UWA Magpies in the Hatcher State League in Australia.
Yeah, he's been around.
And Kyle Pops hits this one in the air, but he just got under it. Gideon drifting under, makes the catch, and that'll end the inning. 1-2-3 go the Maple Leafs. Danny Howitt gets through a clean 6th to the bottom half. We go, the Maple Leafs coming up. Back here on this beautiful sunny afternoon here at Christie Pitts. Johannes Alvarado facing the number 9 hitter in Gio Morello to lead off the inning.
Morello got thrown out at home on his last at bat on that big Yasiel Puig throw from left field to end the inning.
So that pitch is inside, and that is pitch number 4 from Johannes Alvarado. Gnome. It was a 3-pitch inning in the 6th for Johannes. He gave up a base hit to lead off the inning and then got a double play to end it, and it ended up being a 3-pitch inning for Alvarado.
Yeah, not the most conventional 3-pitch inning, but for the first 3-pitch inning in CBL history, it's pretty exciting.
You know that for sure?
I mean, I just figured.
Oh, I doubt it. Maybe for Alvarado.
In CBL, not IBL.
Oh,
the distinction there.
You got me. Alvarado finds the strike zone there, and the count's 2-1. So, I mean, that's kind of how it has to happen for 3-pitch innings, because if the first 2 batters are out on the first 2 pitches, it's an auto take, right? Like, you have to take a pitch just to try and keep things moving, but it was 1 out and a runner on first base, so the batter's not expecting to hit a double play ground ball. This one hits Morello. Speed aboard now for the Jackfish as he got hit right around the shoulder area there from Alvarado. I think that was a breaking ball. Alvarado has that breaking ball that usually almost hits the batter and then comes into the stroke zone. That time it just clipped him on the way by.
Yeah, just didn't get that full downward movement on the release point there. Usually an incredibly effective pitch for him, though.
Now Daiki Abe comes to the plate in the leadoff spot for the Jackfish. And he rips this one foul off to the left.
Abe reached base once this game in the 4th on a single. Other than that, 2 ground outs.
Here's the 1-0 from Alvarado going lefty-lefty on Abe. And he chops it foul at home plate again.
Abe spent time with the Leones de Barranquilla of the Colombian Winter League, where he hit .208 with 6 RBIs in 14 games.
The 2-0 pitch on the ground. Mandalay has it, goes to second to get the force out. Justin Gideon was kind of slowing up going into second base. He's throwing out, and there's 1 away, and here comes Jonah Weisner.
Weisner's been on base twice with a couple of singles and a couple of stolen bases today. He's been in scoring position but has yet to come around to score.
An all-star with the Welland Jackfish last season, and I'm sure hoping to get back to that game again. It'll be in Chatham, Kent this year.
Long drive.
It is. But I've been the last 2 years. They've been a whole lot of fun. Whether it was in Welland, they did a great job putting on the All-Star game in 2024, and then likewise for the Hamilton Cardinals back in 2025. There's the 1-0 pitch. Runner goes, and the throw down is in time. Matt Brandt guns down Abe to get the caught stealing, and there's 2 away in the inning, and that clears the bases for Alvarado.
Yeah, really nice throw there by Brandt. He was set up for success with Alvarado being relatively quick to the plate on that one. And a key caught stealing there to kind of keep the Leafs in this one late.
Alvarado delivers a strike. The Leafs may or may not come back in this game, but there are a lot of eyes on the management side of things for Johannes Alvarado. They need him to be an effective player. He's still an import for the Maple Leafs this season. The 1-2, hack down the line, foul to the left. And if Johannes Alvarado can get through some tidy innings, that would Maple Leafs staff obviously want to win first and foremost, but it would certainly give them some reprieve if they could see their big lefty be effective today. The 1-2. A line drive into the outfield by Jonah Weisner. He's aboard with a single with 2 outs in the inning. Daiki Abe came into this game with 5 stolen bases. That was a speedy guy that Matt Brandt was able to gun down. Now Gideon, a soft serve single into the outfield, gets down in front of J.J. Dutton, who cuts it off quickly. 2 aboard now for the Jackfish as they continue to chip away with 2 outs here in the 7th.
Good swing by Gideon there. He fights off the inside pitch and just able to kind of bloop it into the outfield. And a lot of the times, again, that's just what the Jackfish do so well. They keep the line moving. They're taking those swings, and they're taking effective swings at that, and just a really well-placed hit there.
Robert Mullen started his career with the London Majors, now over the last couple seasons has been an effective catcher with the Jackfish. Back in 22, won the Reed Buck Memorial Trophy. He was the best hitter in the Intercounty Baseball League back when he was playing with London in the 22 season.
Yeah, well, it's well-deserved. Back in 2022 with London, had an OPS above 1.2, which is completely unheard of. If you're above 1,000, that's an incredible season.
If Dennis DeBanning was here, that would resemble kind of the numbers that he's had this season for the Maple Leafs. Puig was supporting that early on. You gotta hit the ball over the fence a lot, and he did it in London too, which is not the easiest place to hit it over the wall.
Yeah, 767 slugging in London, 15 homers across 163 at-bats. Really good ratio there.
Now he's way ahead in the count here against Alvarado. It's 3-0. It was such a quick inning for Wilhennis Alvarado in his first bit of work. Now the Jackfish have really made him work. 3-0 pitch. Mullen fouls it off. Oh boy, he had the green light and had a pretty good rip at that one.
Yeah, Mullen hit the leadoff batter and then flipped things over to the top of the order. And it's just been a little bit of struggle, a little bit of the lack of control from Alvarado showing right now. See if he's able to work his way back into this count.
Here's the 3-on. 3-1 pitch. Mullen rips it foul. He's swinging away, and he's fouled the last 2 pitches off, and Wilhennis Alvarado is back in the count. Robert Mullen is 0 for 2 today, but came in to score on a home run in the first inning. That was hit by Brendan Luther. The 3-2 from Wilhennis Alvarado. And it's fouled off again. That time, Mullen reached out of the strike zone to get a piece of it.
Yeah, if he had laid off that one, would probably be standing on first base right now. Instead, he'll get another try at Alvarado.
3 pitches in the 6th for Alvarado. Now 16 pitches here in the 7th. Another 3-2. And Mullen swings and misses. Alvarado comes back from down 3-0 in the count to strike out Robert Mullen. And that'll end the inning. Wilhennis Alvarado, 2 innings of scoreless relief and trying to give the Maple Leafs a chance to come back here against Welland. Well, back here at Dominico Field, taking a look at the standings early on in the Canadian Baseball League. Barrie Baycats off to a 5-2 start, as are the London Majors. London lost last game against this Welland Jackfish team, and the Jackfish, the reigning champions, trying to get back to the top of the standings.
Yeah, those Baycats, the bats have been working for them really well early on to start the season, and that's the thing that's kind of kept them in first place. But Welland with a good shot here to kind of shoot themselves back up in the standings.
Guelph Royals still looking for their first win of the year.
It's been a tough one for the Royals.
A team that people didn't expect to go 0-5. They have a better roster than that would suggest with some of the talent that they have on that team.
Yeah, there's been a little bit of underperforming, and they've lacked sort of the conviction to hit with runners in scoring position early on this season.
Howitt in his second inning of work facing Kaludis. And Kaludis pops it up, and we just saw a big gust of wind hit the booth, and I think that might have helped that ball travel out of play onto the hillside. The flags would suggest that the wind is blowing to left field, but here in the booth, it's right on our nose coming from center.
Yeah, well, and that's kind of what happens here at the pits with the hillside. It kind of all gets funneled up towards us, and it can be a little tricky with those balls hit behind home plate.
Three-two pitch coming to Kaludis. Swing and a miss, strike three. Danny Howitt gets the punch out.
Since coming on in the sixth, Howitt hasn't allowed a base runner just yet. 3 flyouts in the sixth, strikeout to start it off here. Against the meat of the order too, and Puig, Connect and Popst.
That brings Jordan Mandalay to the dish. He's 1 for 2. Mandalay squaring to bunt, gets it down to first. It'll be a race to the bag, and Mandalay is not going to win that race as Ethan Mann gets there quickly.
Yeah, nice play there to pick up the bunt early, get to that ball real quickly, and it was a pretty easy play to get it to first after that.
3 bunts now against Jackfish pitching for the Maple Leafs. So Mandalay had squared to bunt in his last at bat, and obviously I was mistaken when I said I thought it was just a decoy. That time he was trying to hit it down the third base line. This time he hits it to first. Just got a little too much on it.
Yeah, well, it's the kind of thing, seems like they're just trying to create some chaos against an incredibly effective pitching staff. They haven't been seeing it super well today. They've got a number of hits, but just haven't been able to bring anyone around to score. So just sort of looking for anything to get them off to a good start this inning.
Jackfish have been the kings of stranding runners this year. Here's a high chopper to second. Weisner waits for it. Now throws out Spencer Ross, and that is going to end the inning. Danny Howitt, a 1-2-3 inning as the Jackfish continue to shut out the Maple Leafs here at Christie Pitts. Back here at Christie Pitts, this game's been ticking along here on this Sunday afternoon. Top of the 8th inning, 5-0 Welland. The 3 runs they got in the first on the 2 home runs is holding up. They've tacked on a couple since then, and Luther, who had one of those home runs, is at the dish now. Alvarado got a big strikeout of Robert Mullen last inning to hold the lead at 5-0.
Luther had that home run back in the first that kind of set the tone. 2-run shot over the center field wall. The wind helped that one out a little bit.
And that was a breaking ball, if you're wondering, for Mulhenis Alvarado. He just didn't release it out front, and it went right over the head of Luther.
Yeah, it's something that I've noticed with him a little bit today is that he's not necessarily finishing his breaking balls as effectively as he usually does.
I think it's come after he started to throw, right around the 15 pitch mark in an inning.
Yeah.
Fatigue starts to set in a little bit. Well, Mulhenis Alvarado has started a lot in the past, though, so he does have the ability to go deep into games. Here's a chopper by Luther. That's a can of corn there for the first baseman, Fabian, one away.
I got jammed on that one a little bit, chopped it on the pole side. Routine play for the Leafs, and one that Alvarado probably needed after a couple of tough pitches.
So here's the former Campbell Fighting Camel in Bryce Arnold. That was his Division I team when he played in the NCAA. Last played for them back in 23. Some interesting players that were on that Fighting Camel team. Zach Neto, who you would know, playing for the LA Angels. And then if you remember, the first-round draft pick by Pittsburgh, Tom Harrington, played for them as well. Pittsburgh Pirates draft pick.
It's a pretty good college roster.
Yeah. The 1-1. So that was back in Bryce Arnold's second season when he was with the team. And also spent some time in the Toronto Blue Jays system and made it all the way up to AAA Buffalo. There's the 2-1 pitch. We talked about the home run power of Bryce Arnold earlier on. Well, in one of those 3 games with the Buffalo Bisons, he hit a home run. How about that? Get some action in AAA, hit one out of the yard. That must have been a special moment as well.
Yeah, absolutely, especially playing in the Blue Jays system, being from Hamilton, Ontario.
Here's the 2-2. That one from Alvarado misses outside, and once again you could see that one just didn't finish on the breaking ball. The count's now full. Alvarado's got a bear down here against Arnold. The 3-2 pitch, high, ball 4. And Bryce Arnold, after a long at-bat, will head down to first base.
Yeah, really effective at-bat there from Arnold. Staying in the count and just taking what the pitcher's giving him to kind of keep the line moving for Ethan Mann, who has not had the best day. 3 flyouts, but a couple of hard hit balls. See if he can turn things around here in his 4th at-bat.
This is a ground ball to second for 1, to first, and it's picked out of the dirt by Matt Fabian. A nice set of hands on the Maple Leafs first baseman allows the double play to come to fruition. Leafs trailing 5-0 here late in this ball game in the bottom of the 8th. Well, Matt Brandt's had a nice day behind the plate, throwing out a runner.
At the plate, he singled and grounded out. Reached second on the single in the third, but wasn't able to come around to score.
A couple games ago at Christie Pitts, picked up his first home run in his Canadian Baseball League career. It was a towering shot against the Hamilton Cardinals. Right over that big wall, and it was kind of towards center field too, so he hit it a long way. Got some pop in the bat. Danny Howitt is in his third inning of work.
And he's been incredibly effective facing the minimum through 2.
Howitt fists this one over to the left, and it's out of play.
Or my mistake, he's allowed 1 base runner through 3.
It's all right, I'll allow it. Howitt a long look in, and now with a 1-2 pitch. And it's fouled off. Well, even with 2 strikes, Matt Brandt takes his cuts out there. Like a big swing at that 2-strike pitch from Howitt and just got on top of it. The 1-2. Just missed outside. Everyone, the home plate umpire, Brandt, Howitt all froze, hoping that would get called strike 3. Ended up being a good take from Matt Brandt, the 2-2. And Brandt gets into this one. It's high and it's deep to right field, and that one is gone. Matt Brandt with his second home run of the season, and he gets it over that big wall in right. The Maple Leafs are on the board here in the 8th.
Yeah, great swing there by Matt Brandt. It's ahead 3-1 in the count, gets a mistake pitch on the inside part of the plate, just kind of turns on it, and able to get enough height underneath it to get it over that Salazzo wall in right field, and some much needed momentum if you're the Toronto Maple Leafs right now.
Well, the question at the beginning of the season, can Matt Brandt be the starting catcher for the Maple Leafs this season? He sure can. 2 home runs on the year, has been very effective defensively behind the plate. He is, I don't want to say quietly because he's hitting the ball over the wall pretty loudly, but he has quietly been a real bright spot for this Maple Leafs team this season.
I mean, I think you can say quietly he's batting towards the bottom of the order, but he's just been incredibly effective from that spot, turning things over to the top nicely as well. Yeah, he counts for the only run scored on the day for the Leafs today, but a couple of big homers to start the season for him.
Here's the 2-0. Chopped on the ground to third. That's a fair ball down the line. Matt Fabian makes the turn at first base. He's headed for second. Here's the throw. Not in time. It's a double. Nobody out in the 8th inning, and Fabian and the Maple Leafs are making a run here late.
Yeah, another good swing on that ball.
And Matt Fabian is out at second base. His foot came off, and the Jackfish kept the tag on him. Or no, excuse me. I don't believe he is. There was a signal from the second baseman Weisner. He thought he had kept the tag on him, but it looks like Fabian's going back. Sorry for the confusion. Fabian was just going to deposit his elbow guard.
Like I was saying, another effective swing turning on the ball. And yeah, just good stuff from Fabian, who hadn't reached base to this point in the game. Had a couple of hard hit flyouts and just finally able to find some grass underneath that one.
So here's J.J. Dutton. So I was reacting to Jonah Weisner. He kind of kept the tag on. Fabian looked back, and then Weisner looked like he was kind of saying, oh, like, you're out. Luckily, Fabian was a lot smarter than I am up in the booth.
And I think Weisner was kind of asking the umps to talk about it as well.
Now, this one hit pretty well by J.J. Dutton. It's high, deep, and off the bottom of the wall. This is going to score Fabian. Dutton in with a stand-up double, and the Maple Leafs have 2 here in the 8th.
Well, and like they say, hitting is contagious. Again, they've clearly seen something with Bryce Arnold that they weren't in the last couple of innings, and that's 3 hard hit balls in a row. And all of a sudden, it's a 3-run game with Yasiel Puig coming up to the plate.
This is the right man for the job if the Maple Leafs want to get close. Remember, we talked at the beginning of the game questioning whether Davey Mendez is available in the bullpen for the Jackfish. He's not warming up right now, and it's a 3-run game. Yasiel Puig clearly taking all the way there on that first pitch.
And I think that's if you're Yasiel Puig, that's a good choice given the situation and the base open.
And Puig crushes one deep to center field, and that one is caught at the wall. What a jumping catch by Morello. That was hammered by Yasiel Puig. It moves the runner to third, but Puig and the Maple Leafs wanted more.
And Puig hammered that ball deep to center field. Just didn't get enough air underneath it to have it sneak over the wall. And what a catch by Gio Morello out in center to be able to stick with that one.
Wow.
Yeah.
That ball did not take long to get to the wall. The Jackfish, give credit to them. They had their outfield played really well. Gio Morello was only a couple steps from the wall initially, and he got on his horse, got a great read on the ball, made an unbelievable catch out there in center field. We've seen some catches in the outfield that have come from speed. You think about last game, as we're going to get a pitching change here, but we'll take you through the break. You think about last game, the Maple Leafs were here. They were taking on the Barrie Bay Cats, right? We saw Kinnear run some balls down. And then we saw Noel McGarry-Doyle make that unbelievable possible home run robbery. I mean, speed, even though it's a small outfield here at Christie Pitts, speed can be so effective in the outfield.
Yeah, when I think the small outfield does, in a lot of ways, make the speed important because a lot of the times, especially on those plays at the wall, you have to get to the wall to make that catch. And a speed and a quick first step are incredibly effective at a field like this, even with the small outfield dimensions.
So Owen Ozanic is going to be the batter. And this is an interesting player. The Jackfish, we see them go to a lot of different places to pick up their baseball players. Ozanic is one of the few players, if any, who have come from France. He's from France, a 36-year-old pitcher. He's had a very interesting baseball career. Some of the highlights have been playing for France in 2012 and 2016 at the World Baseball Classic. He probably would have been there again if France was in the Classic. And the last written record of him playing ball was playing for Parma in the Italian Serie A1 league. Did that for a couple of seasons.
Yeah, well, in 2019, he had a 3.86 ERA across 18 innings pitched. There's not a lot of data available on this guy. There's only 23 innings on his baseball reference page, but in those 23 innings, 3.42 ERA. And yeah, that time for France in the World Baseball Classic qualifiers, definitely a big learning opportunity for someone of this pedigree.
Here's Marcus Connect, and Ozanic's first pitch is in the dirt.
So far this season with the Jackfish, Ozanic in 3.2 innings pitched, he's allowed just 1 run, struck out 3, and walked 1. He's averaging about a 1.5 whip and a 2.4 ERA.
The 1-0 to Connect just outside, and Marcus Connect's ahead in the count. Remember, the Maple Leafs have a lot of momentum here. Last time Ozanic pitched was against the Barrie Bay Cats. That was 3 days ago. He went 2 2/3 innings. So quite a few pitches, went deep into that game, faced 11 batters. Jackfish have a guy warming up in the bullpen. Yeah, I was going to say, that looks like Pedro de los Santos, and looks like we have confirmation of that. Connect takes all the way, ball 4. A 4-pitch walk from Ozanic. Hey, the Maple Leafs don't mind base runners right now. It does set up a double play. And here comes Kyle Pops, but Toronto needing 3 runs. I mean, the Maple Leafs they're going to want 1 or 2 here to feel like they have a chance in the 9th, you'd have to think.
Yeah, absolutely. At least 1 or 2. And if you're Pops here, you've just got to be focused on getting that ball in the air. You got less than 2 outs. There's a runner right there at third who should score on a sac fly.
Pops was squaring a bunt there.
Interesting.
J.J. Dutton is very speedy. He's the runner at third base. The 0-1. Pops swinging away, and he cuts over the top of it. Cal Pops is 0 for 3 today with a strikeout. Connect at first. Dutton at third. Pops representing the tying run at the plate, and he takes inside. Just inside from Ozanich. So a 4-pitch walk to Marcus Connect, and now he's really found the zone here against Pops, and that was a close pitch on the inner half.
Yeah, if you're Pops here, you just got to shorten up. Just try to put the ball in play, keep it moving here. You only got 1 out on the board, anything but a double play.
And now he checks his swing and goes around, says the home plate umpire. He really did cut through that one, and that's out number 2.
And he just got fooled on that one, was clearly very ahead on the swing, and it just kind of, the breaking ball broke over the outer half of the plate, and he just didn't have the length on the bat to stick with it.
Yeah, Pops had those pair of hits back in opening day, but maybe just trying to find his timing a little bit. You see such a crazy variety of pitchers in this league. Dutton aggressively coming down the line at third base. Like Ozanich, a 36-year-old pitcher that's just been all over the world, like Australia, and playing for France. Here's the 1-0 to Kaludis. In Italy as well. I mean, you just pick up so many different habits that I'm sure shape the way that your pitching style is on the mound.
Yeah, well, and from the perspective of the batter, you face someone like that, and then there's also the 21-year-old who's just played his 3rd season of JUCO and has never left Canada or the U.S.
The 1-1, runner's going, and Kaludis pops it up on the infield. Looks like this one's going to stay in play and just in fair territory, and that is going to end the inning. The Maple Leafs, boy, they had a hard-hit ball from Yasiel Puig that looked like it was going to bring this thing closer than within 3, but the Maple Leafs do strike for 2. Matt Brandt hits a home run to get the party started. The Leafs trailing by 3, have 3 outs to play with, but first the Jackfish looking for some insurance.
Leading off of the Jackfish, catcher number 10, Logan Brandt.
Back here at Christie Pitts, a little bit of life injected into the crowd last inning for the Maple Leafs as they tacked on 2 runs. They still got a little ways to go, but if you've been tracking the win probability meter on the Canadian Baseball League website, it was a 95% chance an inning ago for the Jackfish. Now they have an 81% chance for the Leafs. And it actually, it gives you like a breakdown of how it's calculated. It's not just based on runs alone. It's actually agree with the calculations. There's more than you might think that goes into it.
Yeah, 81 seems about right for Welland. You know, 3-run game. Couple of runners on and a home run changes things, but that's a lot of factors.
Here's the 1-0 pitch, and Grant swings over the top of it. Apologies for my opinion on that. I know literally nobody asked, but there it is. Here's the 1-1. And that's a called strike. Grant is 0 for 3 today and now behind in the count here against Johannes Alvarado. And that was one of those nasty breaking balls that comes over the front hip from Alvarado to Grant.
Yeah, Grant's struck out twice, grounded into a double play, so not his day at the plate.
And he swings and misses at that pitch, and Johannes Alvarado got him, one away. Those were two really good breaking balls in a different way for Alvarado. The first one, I mean, backdoor, no one's going to be able to hit that one, clipping the inside corner. Then that time looked like a fastball, and it just dove off a cliff off the outside corner.
Yeah, he mixed things up really, really well in that at-bat there.
Alvarado has had his moments where it felt like a little bit of fatigue was setting in this game, but other than that, he's looked good. Now, time is called at home plate by Morello, and he's just going to work that out with the home plate umpire as Alvarado was about to start his delivery.
Yeah, through 3 1/3, he's put up some real key zeros in 3 innings. Only allowed 3 hits as well, struck out a couple.
So that was an example of the breaking ball that does not break. It slipped out of the hand of Alvarado. He's got a big smile on his face as he went back to the mound. Knows he may have tried to overthrow that one a little bit to Morello. Morello has been hit in this game. It was on a similar pitch. And then he spikes that one down and away, and it's 2-0.
We're talking about control issues. Alvarado, if you're just looking at the stat sheet, he's only walked 1 batter so far in this outing. But there's been a lot of deep counts and a lot of cup pitches that have kind of just missed off the zone.
But I want to reiterate, he's looked good. Like this has been the best outing that Alvarado has looked, and this is something that we've seen from Johannes Alvarado. He doesn't always start the season coming out of the gates hot, but by the end of the year, you know, more often than not, he's found himself as one of the better pitchers in the league.
Yeah, you always take 3 innings of scoreless ball.
The 2-1s fouled off.
There's just been a little bit, like it's specifically been that breaking ball that I've noticed. Once he kind of passed that 15-20 pitch mark, like you were saying, there's been a little bit of an issue completing that pitch. But nonetheless, even without his best stuff working, he's remained effective, which just kind of goes to show where he can be at later in the season once everything is working well for him.
The 2-2 pitch in the dirt. Check swing. Did he go? No, says the umpire at third base. And if the Maple Leafs do find a way to come back in the 9th inning, we can look at the line that Johannes Alvarado has put up today as the reason that they did it.
Absolutely.
Through 3 1/3 innings of relief for the Maple Leafs.
Yeah, this game looked like it was going to be getting out of hand, especially after a tough first inning. And Alvarado has very much kept the Leafs in this game, especially with those 2 runs in the last inning.
Full count, and it hits Morello. It was going to be ball 4 anyway. Morello just decided to eat it, and he's going to head down to first base.
And that turns things over to the top of the order for the Jackfish.
So Alvarado has just given the baseball to the umpire at second base. And then the umpire threw it back. I'm not really sure what that was about. It might have just been Alvarado wanting a new baseball. Either way, pinch hitter into the game is Brendan Hupe. first pitch to him is in there for strike one. Nice bounce back pitch from Alvarado after hitting the last batter.
So far in a 4-game sample, Hupe has been, I would say, underperforming on his career metrics. Just a 500 OPS, 100 on base percentage.
And this time he bats it into the outfield for a base hit.
Classic announcer's curse right there.
That one's on you, pal. One thing that no one can take away, though, from Brandon Hupe, a champion last year with this Welland Jackfish team.
Yeah, well, I mean, across his career has been incredibly effective. His OPS sits somewhere between 750 and 790 over the course of his 2 prior seasons. And in his career, 8 homers, 16 doubles across 270 at-bats. So very effective player, especially someone you can bring in as a pinch hitter or factor in as sort of a 4th outfielder.
Mound visit here from Rob Butler. Hasn't made a move to the bullpen. Not sure if there's anyone down there to make a move for. I think it was just to talk to Wilhelmus Alvarado, get him back on track. Made a pretty good pitch there to Hupe. It could have been a ground ball that got him out of the inning, but it did find a hole. Leafs need to hold the Jackfish to no runs here in the 9th inning if they want to have a chance to come back in the bottom half. Here's Jonah Weisner. And that first pitch misses. Ball 1.
If you're Alvarado here, you're going to be pitching down in the zone. A lot of off speed. This is a scenario where he's going to want his curveball working for him to try and get that ground ball.
The 1-0 pitch. Fastball, and he missed low. Talk so much about the breaking ball for Wilhelmus Alvarado, but every now and then he'll reach back for a little extra on that fastball. Does throw pretty hard. And the 2-0 finds the zone on the bottom half. 2-1 now on Weisner.
Well, and when Alvarado's at his best, he's mixing that fastball that like you said, he reaches back a little more for with the curveball, effectively trying to and very much keeping the hitters off balance. But he's got to be able to throw the curveball with a lot of conviction when he's at his best.
2-1 pitch fouled off, and now it's 2-2. Funny enough, Wilhelmus Alvarado was in the Toronto Blue Jays system back when Sam Green was working as an analytics guy. Said that didn't scout him a lot, but his job was to, watch a lot of the minor leaguers. And now Sam is an assistant pitching coach on the Toronto Blue Jays. Former pitcher, I should say, for the Maple Leafs as well. Here's a ground ball. Mandalay dives, and it's into the outfield for a base hit. This is going to plate another run for the Jackfish. Here's a throw to third. Kalutis now throws to second, and the Jackfish able to advance twice. 2 in scoring position as Weisner hits the RBI single.
Good swing there by Weisner. That's his 4th hit of the day. He's got a couple stolen bases as well. And I mean, he's the kind of guy that's always all over the scorecard. He impacts virtually every facet of the game. And right there, extending the lead for the Jackfish in a relatively timely plate appearance.
Wouldn't be surprised to see Ozanek come out and try and finish this thing out for Welland. Here's Gideon with 2 in scoring position, and Justin Gideon is not there to draw a walk. Big swing at that first pitch as he's trying to drive in 2 and put this one out of reach for the Maple Leafs.
Gideon homered back in the 1st, then flew out and struck out since, then got a single in the 7th.
Here's the 0-1 pitch on the ground, foul.
A lot of hard contact today from Gideon. Obviously had that homer, and the fly out in the 3rd was nothing to slouch at. Again, has been a lot all over. This middle of the Jackfish order has been very effective today in just keeping things moving.
Here's the 0-2. Gideon slaps it foul down the left field line, and that hooks onto the hill. Bobby Armstrong able to collect that one. He was in a 1v1 battle with that dog there.
I haven't talked to Bobby yet this year. I should go say hi.
Actually, I forgot to show him out earlier. I think he did make a catch on one of those foul balls down the left field line, famous for that. There's a swing and a miss by Justin Gideon. Big punch out from Wilhennis Alvarado. Now Robert Mullen comes to the plate. Still 2 in scoring position for Welland. Mullen 0 for 3 this afternoon. The Jackfish have 6 runs on 12 hits. Scored a lot, also left some runners on base. And Mullen will foul that one off.
Mullen hasn't registered a hit on the day, but he got hit by a pitch back in the first and scored on the Brendan Luther 2-run homer.
Even though the Jackfish have scored a run this inning, if Wilhennis Alvarado can get Robert Mullen, I mean, that's a nice line. 4 innings of relief, just the 1 earned run allowed.
Yeah, it's been a promising day from Alvarado for sure.
3 strikeouts as well.
Yeah.
Mullen chops one to third. That is a foul ball. Now that was interesting. Kaludis was thinking, do I go for this and try and throw out Mullen, who wasn't really hustling down the line, and he elected to play the safe play and make sure that one bounced foul. I think that was the right call there from Kaludis. That was going to be a strange play to try and throw that ball down to first, having to deal with that runner there as well.
Yeah, and just the choice there, like if he had gone to throw that ball, it would have lended itself to potential throwing error, runners advancing on the play there. So just give your pitcher another shot, especially with how effective Alvarado's been today.
Yeah, and he's ahead in the count 0-2 here on Mullen. And he just missed. Took a step towards the dugout, didn't get the call, and it's 1-2.
Yeah, just low in the zone on that one. Alvarado definitely thought he had him there. Mullen didn't bite on the chase, though.
The 1-2. Mullen fouls it off, took a kind of a funny bounce off of one of the tents down the line, which elicited a reaction from the crowd.
Yeah, well hit there. Just a little out in front on that one, especially well hit for an 0-2 count. But if you're Alvarado, you just got to remind yourself that's a long strike, and you got to take control of it here.
Now Mullen hits one in the air. Back goes Marcus Connect towards the wall. Jumps and makes the catch. A nice play by Marcus Connect to save a couple runs for his pitcher. And Wilhennis Alvarado has pitched 4 innings of 1-run relief for the Maple Leafs as they try to come back with 4 runs in the bottom of the 9th. Now Jordan Mandalay is going to lead things off for the Maple Leafs. He's been a hitter at the plate that has been getting on base a bunch over the last couple games. And the Maple Leafs need the leadoff guy here on against Ozanic because they've got a tall hill to climb. 4 runs here against the Jackfish is what they need. They have 2 runs on 9 hits. Runners left on base has been one of the storylines this game for Toronto. The 1-0. That one misses.
Yeah, to this point, Toronto's left 8 runners stranded through 8 innings. Number of hits, and they scored 2 in the last inning, but yeah, it just feels like a lot of missed opportunities.
Mandalay chops it on the ground to third. That one's gobbled up by Arnold, and he throws to first to make the first out of the 9th inning. Bryce Arnold was kind of played in a little bit there, and that helped him get that ball to first quickly.
Yeah, a little bit of a chop on the hop there. He's able to get the glove to it nicely, though. Kind of hit the lip of the infield grass, but he was playing a little further back enough that he was able to have the reaction.
Well, you don't make it to AAA Buffalo without playing good defense. That's one thing you got to do to move up in the rankings. Spencer Ross takes a strike. This guy's had a good day defensively as well. The man at the plate.
Yeah, I reached on a single and an error back in the 5th, able to advance to second through the error.
0-1 pitch on the ground, up the middle for a base hit. Spencer Ross on board here in the 9th.
And I guess we'll see if Matt Brandt has any magic left.
Well, he sure hit a ball well in this last time up, didn't he?
Had a couple of big swings so far this season, some really well hit balls. He's been on base twice today, of course, that home run.
Takes a big cut at this one and pops it up. I just remember right before that home run, we were talking about the fact that Matt Brandt seems like he has the approach where he goes up looking to do damage. Big swings no matter what part of the count he's in.
Yeah. And that approach, like you saw just there, that can be effective, super effective for some hitters who just consistently have that swing for the fences attitude, and then for some other hitters, it's a very tough approach because they kind of get in their own head about that, trying to do damage kind of thing. But if you're Brandt here, you need a big swing.
Pitch in the dirt, and Spencer Ross will take second base. That takes the double play possibility out of the realm of likely possibility.
Well, and I wonder if that changes Matt Brandt's approach at all in this at-bat here. Now there's a runner in scoring position, things turning over to the top of the order. Especially now, in a 2-strike count, could be shifting more towards just looking for that line drive single.
Ozanic knows what Brandt's trying to do. He's a savvy veteran out there on the mound. The 1-2. Brandt hits another ball pretty well. This one's deep to left and caught on the run out there in left field, and now the Maple Leafs are down to their final out. That was Hupe who came into the game for Abe, playing left field and getting his first bit of action.
Yeah, nice play there, ranging over to his left. Sun's not a huge factor from the angle that he's facing.
Now Fabian. That one's there for a strike.
Just on the outside corner on the plate on that one. The kind of call that may or may not have been able to go either way, but goes the way of the Jackfish.
The 0-1. That one misses, just missed. So 2 outs in the inning. The goal for the Maple Leafs here has got to be get Yasiel Puig to the plate. He's up in 2 batters. Got to find a way to get Fabian aboard and Dutton aboard and then see what happens.
Yeah, well, they've got 2 guys with solid discipline up there and also solid bat-to-ball skills.
The 1-1, a strike. Similar to the last pitch, and it's 1-2.
Yeah, this one on the other side of the plate, down and in. Again, could have gone either way right on the black, but goes the way of the Jackfish.
There's the 1-2 pitch. This one's chopped on the ground and through into the outfield. Ross is the runner at third base. That run doesn't matter for the Maple Leafs, so he'll hold his ground at third, and Matt Fabian continues to hit the ball well today. Yasiel Puig is on deck representing the tying run. First, J.J. Dutton.
And if you're J.J. Dutton here, you just got to find a way onto first base.
Mentioned Ozanich has pitched a lot this week as Dutton takes a strike. He also has been in the zone a lot. Walked the first batter he faced, but since then it's been very effective. The 0-1 pitch. Dutton swings and misses, and the Maple Leafs are down to their final strike.
Pitch up and out there. Could have been ball one. Just unable to lay off on something that looked good out of the hand.
Here's the 0-2. And it's low. And J.J. Dutton had to use all the willpower in his body to lay off of that one. He swung and missed at some breaking balls today, and that time, that was a great take. 1-2 the count now. Dutton trying to battle back. And he fouls it off, and Ozanich looked like he hung that one a little bit, and JJ just missed it.
Yeah, staying alive though. Good swing on that one on the upper inner part of the hands. Just might have felt it a little bit on that swing, but able to put it back over the fence, give him a little more life.
Dutton may not get a better pitch to hit though in this at bat. Here's the 1-2. And he fouls that one off. That time, that was a pretty good pitch and a good spot from Ozanich, and Dutton just uses those bat-to-ball skills. When he was playing baseball in the NCAA, he was top 5 on his team in batting average in both seasons playing for Moorhead State. Been a really good bat-to-ball guy. The 1-2. Dutton swings and misses, strike 3. Ozanich got him with the breaking ball, and that will end the ball game. The Welland Jackfish take this one 6-2 over the Maple Leafs in a game that really started with the 2 home runs in the first inning by Welland.
Yeah, absolutely. Welland just set the tone early. 2 really good swings. One of them hammered out towards right field. The other one just snuck over the wall with a little bit of help from the wind. And one of the issues for the Leafs today, and something that they will surely be talking about in the clubhouse, is the runners left on base. They left 8 runners on base over the course of this game, including those last 2 in the 9th. They're leaving Yasiel Puig on deck. Just, you got to keep the line moving a little bit better. You got to hit some of those clutch hits if you want to win a game like this, which felt fairly winnable for the Leafs.
Some bright spots. First for the Welland Jackfish, Justin Gideon was a guy that they were looking to get going. He hit the home run today, so maybe that translates into some long-term success for them. They got a good start from their new pitcher on the mound for the Maple Leafs. Johannes Alvarado looked really effective. Went 4 innings of relief for them, and the Maple Leafs did not have to tax the bullpen at all today. Just Jesus Martinez and Johannes Alvarado. And Matt Brandt. Boy, has he ever been effective for the Leafs this season. He hit his 2nd home run of the year, and the Maple Leafs, though, just not able to come back late. So we thank you for tuning in this afternoon. From Christy Pitts, from Thomas West, and Noam Streifer. Have a great rest of your afternoon.